Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Men's Basketball Report. I'm Spiro Marikas along with head coach Pat Scarry. We have thawed out slightly as the Tigers spent 6 days somewhere in Canada. Don't ask me where. It was cold, snowy, and the man who scheduled it is right here.
I probably owe a lot of apologies, right?
Well,
tough road trip. Not an easy place to get. The tournament was well run.
It was, because a lot of times you play in these things and there's nobody there, but they have decent crowds and it was a good atmosphere.
Yeah, good crowds, good atmosphere, and obviously excellent teams. We've got things we've got to get better at quickly, and hopefully we can circle the wagons and get a couple guys back and help us do that.
Let's talk about the 3 days. You played Kent State, Kennesaw State, and Cal Irvine. Cal Irvine and St. Mary's, who you played week 1, are in the top 25 in the net. So obviously extremely, extremely quality teams. Kent State, another very, very good team. And Kennesaw State just beat Rutgers a couple of weeks ago. They also are a quality team. Your team was in every game. I know the outcome is not what you wanted, but the one thing that you have to say is the team fought till the end at all 3 ball games. And in 2 3/4 of those games, you were playing short 2 starters.
Yeah, I liked our spirit. I liked our fight. I know our guys know this. We had a long film session today. I'm not going to say we played great. We played hard. Supposed to play hard. Kent took us out of some things. I thought. I thought that was like our worst performance. Kennesaw was a tough ending to the game at the end. And I liked the fight against Irvine. Going back and watching it, I don't think we played great, but certainly when you have a chance with a minute left to win the game, those things sting. I think the bigger message to our guys is, are we going to be one of those groups that everyone tells you, hey, Irvine was number 1 in the mid-major poll and St. Mary's was 3 and you were close, and are you happy with that, or do you become possessed about getting better to get where we believe we can get to? So that's kind of the big theme as we get back into practice. But yeah, for having 8 guys, I thought those guys, especially game 3, responded pretty well when there's a lot of reasons not to respond. You and I know what our guys are thinking when Saturday morning hit. When are we getting out of here? The good thing is they didn't play like that.
They did, and we should mention that after the game against Irvine, you were unable to come do your post-game interview because you had a bus driver threatening to leave us in Canada in perpetuity if everybody didn't get on the bus and get back to the hotel.
Yeah. Well, it's always challenges on the road, right? Game 1, we thought we lost equipment, we couldn't do it, and Game 3, the guy said he was clocking out, and if we don't get on the bus, so we were a little worried about that. At that point, you just want to get home. It's a 2.5-hour bus ride
to Calgary to get home,
to connect to Chicago, and then Chicago to DC, and then take a bus. So, but look, I did schedule, and I do believe that the key teams we played will help us later on. I thought they were all worthy. And wouldn't be surprised if all of them won their leagues.
All right, this week the Tigers with 1 game Saturday at the TU Arena against UMBC, a team that's coming off a loss the other night to Georgetown. They are averaging over 80 points a ball game, so this is a team that can certainly put the ball in the basket. They've got a couple of guys. You look at their numbers. I mean, Bryce Johnson and Marcus Banks are both great 3-point shooters, both averaging 15, 16 points a game. So UMBC, a team that can certainly put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, Jimmy Ferry's a very good coach, been around a long time, offensive coach. They play top 30 tempo in the country. Those 2 guys do shoot it. Saturday's a huge game for us. We've got to have a great week of practice. And, Saturday the winning team is the winner of the Charm City Classic. The second year that Steve Iger brought and the other ADs, those schools put that together. And we've got to play well. We've got to play with force on both sides of the ball. We've got to get a couple guys back in the lineup, and we got to start going.
Do you expect to be at full strength?
We do. We do expect to have a couple days of practice. by the end of the week, being at full strength, and that'll, you know, got to have everyone, and then we got to try to get into a rhythm.
The thing that you look at UMBC that maybe they are a little lacking is on the boards. You guys have always had a reputation of being great on the boards. You were beat by Irvine, but they're an excellent rebounding team also. What do you need to do to make sure that UMBC doesn't get an advantage on the rebounds?
Yeah, we've got to relentlessly attack the glass. We've showed flashes of that, you know, this year. We're not there yet. We can block out better. We've had really good moments of that, and then some not good moments. So you know, how much of that is fatigue? How much of that is inconsistency and you know, following our training? I don't know. We've got to, as we come down the stretch of non-conference, we've got to dominate on glass. You know, we're not shooting the ball well. That'll change. We're doing an excellent job of taking care of the ball. You know, and we're doing some good things defensively. But rebounding's always been a calling card. Like you look at Kennesaw, we got 51% of our misses. That's outrageous. But then the next time against Irvine, we were, you know, 30%. We've got to play with more consistent force.
All right, so that'll do it for this edition of the Tiger Men's Basketball Report. And good news, we are only 361 days away from the next trip to Canada. Thank you. This time the eastern part. Anyway, that'll do it. Please come on out to TU Arena on Saturday when the Tigers take on UMBC. For Pat Scarry, I'm Spiro Marikas. Thanks for tuning in.